All right, we're live.
Sweet.
Yeah. Let's see. It's funny. I've done this. This is like my third time. So every time it's so easy, but every time I do it, I like my brain freezes up and I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't know how to use this. It's so this. I was really nervous the first time I ever did one because I was like, I bet it's going to be so technical and it's not.
No, yeah, no, this looks it's like it looks totally straightforward and
Yeah.
clear and yeah.
What do you stream on Twitch or something? You were telling me you stream earlier.
Well, I've used like live stream. Um Normally when I live stream it's not myself I'm streaming, it's like
Oh.
for like I work at a university.
Oh. Okay.
So I stream like classes and events and stuff for
Oh. Okay. I
clients.
thought maybe you were a gamer or something.
Well, I do game, but I'm not. I suck at gaming, so
Yeah. Yeah. Me too.
I
I've
enjoy
been
it, but I'm
playing.
terrible.
I've been playing old Super NES games lately.
Nice.
Yeah,
I have an NES, Super NES, and an NES emulator. So
yeah. I
I'll
had
play
those
around with those.
consoles back when they came out, but I
Yep.
lost them years ago, and now I have an emulator on my Xbox that like
Nice.
I paid some guy $40 and he installed all these. I don't know how that works, but it's the awesomest thing ever. Like
Well,
I probably have 2,000 games on my
wow. Yeah,
yeah.
that'll keep you busy.
Oh yeah, this was like 10 years ago, and I still haven't played them all.
Oh yeah.
I lost that guy's lost contact with him, and I wish I didn't because I'd like him to put like PlayStation mods, or I'm sure I could figure it out though, right?
Oh yeah.
It's probably pretty easy. He did it in like an hour, so
Yeah.
I
I'm
doubt
I'm
it's.
always scared I'm gonna brick my like I have a PS4. I'm always scared I'm gonna brick it if I try to do something like
Yeah, yeah, that's
that.
true.
So I haven't
Cool.
actually done it.
Okay, I bet it's pretty easy though. You can do anything now if you really try.
That's true. Yeah.
Nowadays, things are like you could probably, yeah, even me.
Technology is a wonderful thing.
But like you said, there always is the risk that you can damage something. So, yeah,
Yeah.
cool. We got Rick from the Dreadful Minutes
Nice.
popping in at number one. What's up, Rick?
Hey man.
Do you know Rick Spencer?
I've seen him do other live streams before, but
Okay, yeah,
yeah.
he's great. Anyways,
Hello.
yeah, we got 5 people watching so far, which is
Sweet.
not bad for the first 2 minutes.
Yeah. Not bad at all.
So yeah, I guess I imagine anyone watching right now knows what's going on, but if you don't, if you're like that weird old dude that stumbles into a concert randomly, we're ranking the Immortal albums, and we're also ranking the 3 Abbott albums, the 1 Demon Oz album, and the I album. Spencer might be ranking his a little bit different than me, which is totally cool. 14 albums in total.
Yeah.
And
I got my my Immortal shirt on here.
That is sick. I actually had mine out and I forgot to put it on.
And then I've got an Immortal pillow.
Oh my god!
That my wife made for me. So
did she make that out of a t-shirt?
Yeah.
Oh,
actually, it's a back patch.
Oh, that is sick.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't have an Immortal pillow.
Just before we get going, I got to show you this too. So this came in the Dead Reaver.
Oh shit! You were telling me it came with a poster.
Yeah, isn't that insane?
Oh my god!
I know it's hard. It's fucking huge. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this thing. It's awesome, but
I might have to get that. The vinyl, I assume, right?
Yeah, it comes in the. I think there's a CD special edition that you can get as well, and it has it has a flag. So it's this same poster, but it's flag. So if you don't want the paper one, you can actually get the flag, which is pretty cool. So
dang.
But it's
my record store local didn't get that album for some odd reason.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. No, not at all.
Yeah, they had the first 2, and I'm like, that's probably why I didn't get it, because I don't know. I didn't pick it up randomly. I have heard it a few times though. Yeah. So I think it's worth picking up.
I totally do. We'll get into that, but
yeah, definitely. So so the storms let down, or
yeah. So last night, for anyone watching that doesn't know, I live in Nova Scotia, which was hit with Hurricane Fiona, which I believe was a Category 3 just before it came on shore, and then it probably lost some steam once it hit shore. But so yeah, it took down a lot of trees, and power lines, poles, stuff like that. And I was without power for since last night. So like, I don't know, 15 hours, something like that. So
yeah, it's so funny when you don't think about when you think tropical storms, nobody thinks Canada.
No.
Not in America. Anyways.
Not at all.
We figure you guys are all snowy weather and all that stuff.
Well,
it's a big country.
It is, and also like since the last decade or so, the weather's just been haywire here, and
I don't doubt it.
It's all climate change. Like,
yeah,
we still get snow in the winter, but not nearly as much as we used to.
Same here.
It'll get super fucking cold, and then it'll snow like twice the whole winter.
Oh, okay.
And it's weird, man.
It'll snow more than that here. It does
this a lot. It goes up and down, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get more than that, but still we get like a fraction of the snow we used to get.
Yeah.
It's I love it, but it's also terrifying because if you actually think about why that's happening, it's not.
Oh,
good.
Yeah. No,
it's not good at all.
No, not at all.
Did you guys get like early spring, end of winter, early spring? Did you guys get a shitload of rain?
Trying to remember now. It was definitely weird. Yeah, I think we probably got our fair share of rain.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we got like record-setting rainfall.
Yeah. I mean, we never get like crazy heavy rain here. Like when it rains, it's usually just kind of like, oh, it's raining. It's like sprinkling or like medium heaviness, but it never like rains like insane, intense rain, heavy rain. That usually doesn't happen here. So.
Yeah, we don't get a ton of rain either, but we got record amounts of rain like in the spring. It was the weirdest thing. I was loving it because I love rain, but I'm like, why is this happening? Like, this is so not normal for us.
It's weird times, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So much that I actually had to research it. And like, why is this happening? That I researched it. I'm like, oh fuck, we're so fucked. But hey, whatever.
Yeah, we're fucked. So let's talk about some black metal.
Yeah, man. You want to go first with your
sure
your number 14?
Yeah. So I own all the albums except for 2, and my number 14 is one that I don't own, which I'm gonna pick the Demoness solo album, March of the Noise. Came out in 2011, and just let me consult my notes here why it is number 14.
I bet, like me though, I bet you are even your bottom albums you probably still like a lot.
Oh yeah.
Nothing here is bad.
The one thing about this album that struck me is it's not a black metal album. I would say this is a Viking metal album at best.
Yep.
Which isn't a bad thing, and I like Amon Amarth and stuff. They're cool. But yeah, it's definitely got that Viking mid-tempo black and roll kind of thing going. Yeah, and it should be epic. I find it's not as epic as it could be.
No.
I think the biggest thing that struck me about that album was his singing. Because it's just, he's raspy, but he's not giving it. It's almost like he's like talk rasping. I don't know. That's what I got out of it. And none of the tracks really stood out to me.
Yeah.
So I just felt that it was a little uninspired.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I don't know. That's my take on that album. I don't have a lot to say about that one because it's one that I haven't spent a whole lot of time with. But
right. Yeah, I can't really disagree with you on anything there, to be honest.
Yeah, cool. Fair
enough.
All
right, so number 14, you had Demonaz. I'll go ahead with my number 14. You probably won't love this, but that's okay. Number 14, I got the first Abath album. I got this cool Season of Mist box. Did you get this?
No, I have the vinyl.
Okay. This box is really cool. I'll show some stuff if anyone has it. It came with a bracelet or a wrist. What do you call it? Those wrist things, wrist bands, or not wristband, but wrist things that people wear. Anyway, my son used to wear it all the time, and I think he lost it. But it came with this cool pin. Yeah, it looks good on vinyl.
Yeah.
So I forgot about this shit. Came with a little patch. I liked this album when it first came out, but the more I listened to it, and I don't dislike it, but the more I listened, the more time I spent with it, it just kind of like its luster just kind of wore off. And what really bummed me out is it was supposed to be an Immortal album, and if this was an Immortal album, I think I would have hated it, to be honest. But I also think that this is probably his version. I think the other guys would have maybe put some touches on it and made it a little better. I would think, but who knows? I think it would be a better album as an Immortal album if the other guys had their input. But Abbott is a great songwriter. You know, I don't dislike anything about the guy, but yeah, it doesn't. I really like the drumming on this album.
The drumming is awesome.
I guess that guy's like a death metal guy.
Yeah, I'm a drummer myself, so not that I'm anywhere in, you know, this level of drumming, but I definitely.
But you know drums, yeah.
I know drums, yeah, and I don't know. Should I just give you my thoughts on this album now that
you can, or you can wait. It's up to you.
Yeah, I don't know, whatever.
The drumming is cool. Like I said, and I read that this guy's so good. I think he did most things on one take. Abbott said maybe two at most, but he said, he knocked out everything really quickly. I love, it's just awesome drumming, super tight. Not like too flashy, but just something about it in the drum production. And I think he's in a band called Benighted, I think.
Oh yeah.
They're pretty popular. I've never really spent any time with them, but I'm like, man, I might check out some Benighted just to hear that guy play drums. So so I don't think I have anything else really to say about it. You can go ahead with your 13.
Cool. Number 13, I'm gonna pick. So I kind of mixed all the albums together. So I'm gonna jump to another Immortal, another Abbott self-titled. Yeah. Which is Outstrider. To me, I think this is his weakest solo album. I actually like the self-titled one more than this one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think that there's a few songs that stand out on that one more than this one. And although I do like this one, I think it's definitely a solid record. I noticed that there seems to be a different lineup with every solo album he does. And I wonder if that's because, you know, he's like hard to get along with. Because he does have a very big personality, right? So
he does. I've heard personally by people that know him in Norway. I've heard he's a stand-up guy.
Oh yeah,
but he might be hard to work with, and also like these last few albums that he's done, I think he's. I don't think he's been at the highest point of his life either. So.
No, well, didn't he recently just get clear or like clean? I mean,
I think so, but who knows?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know if there's much to show with this one. But yeah, like it's not a bad album at all. It's just black. But it's just not my favorite of the solo ones.
Yeah.
It's kind of a nice, like embossed.
That is really cool.
Shiny cover, and definitely Common, Ice of Hurricane, Harvest Pyre, and Hectate are probably my favorite 3 tracks on this.
Yeah.
So like solid songs, solid album in total. Yeah. But yeah, not my favorite of the
just doesn't stick with you.
Yeah. It's not the first one I grabbed.
Yeah. And just to let you know also on this there's like a couple of second what do you call it? Delay. So if I talk over you, I don't mean to do that.
Sometimes. Oh yeah.
You'll probably do it to me too.
Oh yeah.
So Rick says Demonaz should do a follow-up to that debut solo record, and the last Immortal was excellent, and he thinks it would be an improvement. I think so too. I think if he did a second album, I think it would be better.
The last Immortal album is
awesome.
It is awesome. Yeah, it totally blew me away. I was not expecting it to be that good.
Yeah. That was one of my most anticipated albums, and God, probably in my life, really. Like I was just holding on for that. I had no hopes. I did not think it would be all that good, but we'll get there.
Yeah. Yep, it's coming.
It's so easy to talk about things before you're actually there.
Yeah. Okay, you're up. You're up, man.
My next one, this won't surprise you either, because Outstrider, and I honestly, now that you were talking about it, I'm not sure if I can really say that I like this more than the first one, but I seemed to like it a little better, but I don't know. And I can't remember the musicians he had on this. I want to say I really like the lead guitarist he had on this album.
I can tell you,
he played in some Norwegian bands that not super popular, but he's extremely talented as a lead guitarist.
It's Raude.
Okay. Yeah. I like the solos, and I mean there's nothing on here that I dislike. It just like you said, it just doesn't sit it's not super memorable. There's nothing wrong with it, but there's nothing like super nothing super memorable. It's just, it's, you know, like a 5 out of 10 album.
Yeah. Well, some of the albums, like, they just have songs that get stuck in your head and you just, you know, you can't get them out.
Yeah.
Not so much with that one. Yeah.
We got Kevin from Graveworm in here. Said he doesn't really like the Abbott solo stuff, but he likes the Demon Oz album. Knowing Kevin's taste, I totally see where he's coming from. I'm more of that opinion as well. But yeah, you can go ahead with your number 12.
Okay. My number 12 is going to be I, Between Two Worlds, which is kind of his. Is it a super group? Is it?
It pretty much is. It's almost like almost all dudes from Immortal, and some other guys.
So, I mean, once again, not a bad album, but you know, they all have to go somewhere, right?
They do.
And I would say The Storm I Ride is by far the best song on the album. I love that song. It's so catchy.
It's great.
The riff is awesome.
Yeah.
Every time I listen to it, I get that song. And I probably listened to it like 5 or 6 times this week to prepare for this, because that song is just so good. But yeah, I think, you know, the singing and the musicianship, I really enjoy this album. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And also like there's another song called Mountains, I believe.
Oh, dude, yeah.
And another great one.
That's like an old Bathory song, like mid-period Bathory kind of.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of slow, epic.
Yeah, it's just so good.
It is good.
But any song with mountain in the title is it's always good. So.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of them. I was looking into that.
Oh yeah, dude. Abbott loves mountains.
Yeah. So yeah, like, you know, that's, what are we at? Is that number 12?
12. Yeah.
Yeah. So still.
Yeah, I'll probably. Oh, are you frozen? This does happen, by the way. If you freeze up, Spencer, feel free to log out and come back in, because I know Scott had to do that a couple of times. Who was on my last live stream, he had to do it 3 or 4 times. It seems to happen more with guests than it does with me. I've never had any problems yet. I mean, I have really good internet, but I don't know if that really matters. So let's see. So while Spencer's away, okay, he just sent me a message. Hopefully his power isn't out, but hey, that wouldn't be his fault. Okay, it looks like he's logging out, and he'll probably come back in. Yeah, Scott had to do it a couple of times. It's just how these live streams go. Man, look at the quality. Holy shit. I look like me. But okay, it looks like Spencer's power is out. So we'll see what he wants to do. It's all good. He's probably feeling like shit, but it's okay. I'm gonna see what he wants to do. I could just continue this by myself, but yeah, man, I just feel bad. I'm just gonna see what he wants to do for sure. I mean, yeah, if his power is out, then not much you can do. Well, I think I'll just keep going. I mean, that's okay with me. But yeah, you know, I have no problem with doing like album rankings by myself. I did a Black Sabbath one on my channel like 5 years ago, but it's terrible. I'm gonna redo that. I just decided that it's really, really fun to do with other people, because it's like a lot of the times you'll get a, you know, kind of a cool dichotomy. One person will have a completely different opinion than the other, and I really enjoy that. So yeah, I think I'll just keep going. I don't know. You guys are all here, and you know, I'll have Spencer back on to do a different band with me maybe in the next couple of weeks. So he ended with whatever it was, his number 12. So now we're going to go to my number 12, which is, shit, let me pull it up here. I have it on my phone. I don't have this memorized. So my number 12 is the one thing that I don't own from this entire things. Anyways, mine is the third Abbott solo album entitled Dread Reaver. Came out, I think it came out this year, last year. I think it came out this year. I do think, for me, I think it was the best of the 3 solo albums. I didn't think it was great, though. Abbott solo stuff just doesn't do a whole lot for me, but I think it was the best of the 3. I don't know what it was about it. I don't like it enough to like really have, details to talk about it, but I enjoyed it for the most part. I think, to be fair, I think I only gave it 1 listen. So if I give it more listens, maybe I'll like it more. I don't know. I didn't buy it. Like I was saying, it wasn't at my local record store, so I couldn't like blind buy it, or I couldn't, what do you call it? Impulse buy it, which I might have. But obviously I didn't go order or anything like I did with the first 2. Got Rodney Barr in the house. What's up, Rodney? I think the I album is songs with Motorhead vibes, and the others sound totally like Immortal. Yeah, I agree with you there, man. Especially that the debut track is very Motorhead. I mean, Abbott loves Motorhead. He has a Motorhead cover band, if anyone doesn't know that. I don't know if he still does it, but he did for years. He had a Motorhead cover band called Bombers. I never did check it out. I think it was mostly to play live, but I think they did record an album, if I remember correctly. And also, Rodney, I would point out that I think there's definitely some Bathory vibes on that album, like mid-period, like Viking Bathory stuff, but obviously Motorhead as well. So that was my number 12. Abbott Dread Reaver. Will go on to my number 10 now, and that would be. I kind of feel bad for putting this so low, but like Spencer said, you gotta put these somewhere. So number 10, I'm gonna go with Demon Oz, March of the Norse. I like this album quite a bit, actually. Maybe a little bit, well, obviously quite a bit more than Spencer. It's maybe not super catchy or super memorable, or maybe not everything here stands out, but I think it's a really good album. I like Demon Oz a lot. I'm really glad that he's back in Immortal. So this album is, like Spencer said, not really black metal. This is more epic metal, mid-period, like Hammerheart era Bathory. I think Spencer said he wasn't crazy about the vocals. I can kind of echo that. I wasn't super crazy about the vocals either. But I think that's Demon Oz. He wanted to use clean vocals, again, like that, epic, Viking era Bathory. I mean, Quorthon's vocals are an acquired taste as well. So I think Demon Oz was going for that. And, for what it's worth, he totally pulled it off. And it was pretty cool to, I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but with the last Immortal album, he did, do full on black metal vocals, which, as far as I know, that's the first time he's ever done that. Well, because Demon Oz wasn't ever the vocalist in Immortal, so I don't know if he's had other bands where he's done like black metal vocals. As far as I know, I don't think he has. So his black metal vocals, I think, are awesome. Yeah, every bit as good as Abbott. But number 11, Demon Oz, March of the Norse. I'd really like to hear another Demon Oz album, but I don't know if that'll ever happen. That was number 11, I think. So number 10, we're going to go with, I didn't put this stack in order because, why would I want this to go smoothly? Number 10, I'm going to go for Damned in Black. This is from, what year is this? Let me look it up. I probably should have written down notes. I've listened to Immortal for so long that I think I just know everything about them. And I do know a lot about them, but my memory these days kind of sucks. So I've never been real good with dates. So anyways, Damned in Black, 2000. That's right, 2000. So I go back and forth with this album a lot. Like sometimes I'll listen to it. It's one of those albums where I'm kind of on the fence. Sometimes I'll listen to it and I will absolutely love it. Sometimes I'll listen to it and it just goes in one ear and out the other. I listened to it for the first time in a while, a week or two ago, and I kind of liked it more now than I ever did before. Let's see if Spencer has any news. So Spencer might come back. He's trying to figure out how to hotspot with his phone or something, which, if he's on his laptop, Spencer, if you're watching this on your phone or something, try just, yeah, you try using your mobile data. It's probably going to suck it up. You have no more data left after this, but if you want to do it, go for it. So yeah, Damned in Black. This is a very, I wouldn't call this a thrash album by any means, but there's a lot of thrash riffs on here. Obviously, Abbott and Demon Oz both are huge thrash fans. If you watch interviews with them, especially Abbott, he will always bring up, how much he loves thrash metal. So that really shows on this album and a few others, and I really like it for that reason. I don't know. I'm sure someone will disagree with me. I wouldn't say this is not memorable, but I do think it's really good. It's just not one that I can get into as much, and it's not one that I definitely don't like care to return to this all the time like I do with some of their other albums. I always want to hear, even if I've heard them 100 times. So this album had Ascaria on bass, had Horg on drums, and I want to say this might have been early on with those guys being in the band. Yeah, this was the first album that Ascaria played bass on. You'll probably be familiar with Ascaria from some other stuff he's done. He did a band called Dead to This World that was really good. I liked it anyways. He was in Necrophagia for a while. Yeah, great. Definitely a great bass player. Let's see. When did Horg? I can't remember when Horg joined in, but this wasn't the first album with Horg. No, okay. No. Horg had been in the band a couple of years at this point. So anyways, number 10, Damned in Black. I like it. I certainly don't love it. Obviously, it's my least favorite Immortal album. So trying to keep an eye on my phone, see what Spencer says. I'm gonna try to be better about the comments. I know I haven't been, my last few streams I've been terrible about that. So yeah, Rodney doesn't vibe with the Abba solo stuff. I'm with you there, man. Not interested in buying any of them. I can't argue with that at all. He's familiar with Bombers, Abbott's Motorhead band. Motorhead tribute band. Rodney likes Damned in Black. Gets overshadowed by the ones before and after it. I could see that. And yeah, Horg joined the band for Blizzard Beast. Yeah, a couple years before that. So moving on to my number 10. What do we got? Or number 9. Jesus Christ. I'm so bad with numbers. Bad with a lot of things. But number 9, I am going for Blizzard Beasts. Now, I will say, though I have heard this album a number of times, I never really owned it until recently, which is awesome that Richard Wolf, guy that watches my channel, hopefully he's here or hopefully he shows up at some point. He sent me this, and that was super awesome. I really needed this in my collection. So this Blizzard Beast is from 1997. This was the first album to have Horg on drums. I really like Horg he's the best Immortal drummer by far. I mean, they haven't had a lot of drummers, but I just love his style. I think he's so good for the band. So he definitely brought better drumming, I would say. Abbott himself played drums on Immortal prior to this. And I thought he did a good job. I've seen a lot of people say like, Abbott was a shitty drummer. Like, I didn't think he was shitty. I think his drumming was perfect, for that material. But Horg is definitely a little bit more of an accomplished drummer than Abbott was. And he brings a nice dynamic to the band. Blizzard Beasts. Now, this is a cool album. I'll admit, now that I own it and I've listened to it a little bit more, I do like it more than I ever did. A lot of people will call this like Immortal's death metal album. And I wouldn't say that. It's not a death metal album, but I think that's not supposed to be, taken completely seriously. So they were touring previous to writing this. They were touring with like a Morbid Angel, and I can't remember who else. And I can't remember if I had read in interviews where Abbott said that they like straight up said that they took influence from Morbid Angel. I think he might have said that, but don't quote me on that. But it is pretty obvious here. It's got this kind of, it's not super standout. Like there's not a lot of songs here, in my opinion, that are super memorable just as songs. But I like listening to this just for it's a really brutal album. It's got a kind of an interesting production. I don't know how you would like the riffs. The riffing is just different. The riffing on this album is different than anything they did before, anything they did later. it is kind of death metal-y type riffing, but done through like an Immortal filter. It's like they weren't trying to be a full-on death metal band. I just think some of that was, some of that riffing was in there. And this is just a brutal album. It's fast and brutal. It's almost like almost like Marduk levels of brutality, where it's just they're pummeling you with speed and aggression. And there is some of that going on here. It's a fun album to listen to, but it's not something that I return to a lot. But when I do return to it, I like it. It's not a classic in my opinion. So, Rodney Barr, did you know that Horg decided to leave Hypocrisy right after the recording of their new album Worship? I didn't know that. I always thought it was cool that he was in Hypocrisy as well, because he brings a lot. He's just a great drummer. Maybe he's going back to Immortal. I don't know if he ever left Immortal. Maybe he did. I'm not sure. I also don't know what Immortal are doing these days. I kind of have a feeling, and hopefully I'm wrong, and this sounds kind of shitty, but I kind of thought that they made that Northern Chaos Gods album, they made that to show everyone that they didn't need Abbott and they could make a good album without him. I kind of feel like that's why they did it. But I also think, Spencer's back, by the way. Cool. Hey, sorry, man. There you are. Let's see if he has audio and stuff. But so yeah, that's kind of how I feel. I they did that one album, and I was kind of hoping that they would keep going just to show that, like, yeah, we can totally do this. They did show that they could do it, but they didn't really show that they could be consistent. I don't know. It's whatever. But so yeah, that's my number. That was my number 9. We'll see if Spencer, so I can see him now, as you guys probably can too. But he seems to be frozen up. So yeah. Think about it for a minute before I keep going. What are you guys all up to, by the way? Oh, cool. All right. Metal Madness. What's up, Jeff? Yo, Eli and Spencer hails from the colder than yesterday hinterland of Pennsylvania. All right. Let's see. Hey, man.
I'm back.
Cool. Glad you're back. Glad you're back.
That was weird.
Yeah. So you lost power again? Or did it flicker?
No, it went out. It was out for however long I was gone.
And it's back on?
And now it's back on. So it might go again. Who knows? So, I mean, they're
whatever.
Right down the street from me, a whole bunch of power lines went down. So they're working on it.
Of course,
so,
yeah. So we got Metal Madness. We got Metal Madness 62. Jeff, great guy. James Witherall, At the Heart of Winter was the very first album I bought by them. Still my favorite to this day. I totally get that. I'm the same way. I think most metal fans are that way. The first album, they just never seem to forget. You can't get it out of your system.
Yeah.
And Jeff says there's a new Demon as Immortal album soon to come out. No shit.
Oh, awesome.
I didn't know that. God
Me
damn.
neither, man.
Fuck.
Someone's up on top of it. That's awesome, though.
Yeah, god damn, that's great news. I'm super happy now.
Yeah.
And Rodney Barr says Northern Chaos Gods was a great comeback and somewhat return to form. Totally agree.
Yeah,
totally agree. It's like a mixture of the old and current styles. So I jumped ahead of you. Obviously, I went all the way to my number 9.
Okay. Well, I can start there. That's where it gets good anyway. So
yeah, I went to my number 9. No, you can. How about you just pick up where you left off?
Okay.
I'm sure you have stuff to say. You took notes and stuff, so don't put it to waste.
So we already talked about this one, but these two are they're tied for my number 10. Although maybe this one edges out just a little bit more. And I already showed off the awesome poster.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for like extras in albums.
Me too.
And I don't know. This just has like awesome. It's got awesome artwork.
That is really cool.
And it's super glossy. And
it is.
Yeah. Once again, he really must be a fan of the like shiny. He just wants to see his name in shiny.
I like that foil stamping or whatever they call it. Totally. I'm a sucker for that.
Yeah, man. And what are the standout tracks on this one? I don't know. I mean, probably Dream Call. I think the third track, the first one, Acid Haze. He always starts off strong with
True.
the album, I think.
And those were the singles too.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, and I like Dead Reaver too. I think that's a longer one. Well, no, there are no long songs on this album. They're all the 4.5 minute mark. So
Louis says hello to everybody.
Hey, Louis.
He's been here this whole time. Imagine that.
Nice. So yeah, like I said, that one probably. I mean, those two are kind of tied, but maybe Dead Reaver is just a hair above. Yeah.
So apparently, okay, Jeff is talking about says it's due October 7th, but he's not sure if that's a rumor or not. The new Immortal. I don't know. I think we would know about it a little more if it was coming out that soon, but bands have done weirder things.
Oh, definitely. That is true.
I'm gonna not give my hopes up though. And Tony over at Life Eternal, I bet you know Tony.
Yeah.
First Immortal I heard was Sons of Northern Darkness. Same here actually, even though me and him are way different in age. Not my fave anymore, but still great. I saw the new Immortal record get announced a few weeks back. Where the hell have we been?
Well, I've been in, dealing with hurricanes and shit. So
that's true, but man, weeks ago though, apparently.
Yeah, okay, not weeks ago.
No one has said anything to me. I feel betrayed a little bit.
My head's stuck in the past, so
yeah.
Cool,
so
man.
Yeah, you want to go ahead with your others?
Sure, yeah. Number 9, maybe people won't like this, but Blizzard Beasts. I don't know. I
can't argue with you.
It's raw. It's which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it sounds muddy to me.
Yep.
And I don't know. There's like no songs that really kick my ass on this one.
Right.
And I don't know. I mean, they have ridiculous album covers, but this one is probably the worst.
I kind of like it. I like the grayness and everything. Something about it. I actually like that album cover. I mean,
like if I want ridiculous, it's got to be over the top, and this isn't.
Yeah,
it's not over the top.
So. No, it's like they're trying to look more serious. That's like serious looking Immortal.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, I don't know. This is a nice pressing though. It's
very nice.
Osmos.
Cool.
Yeah, it's heavy. It's I don't know if it's 180 gram, but it feels like it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So what you missed is, let's see if we're my number 12 was the Demon Oz album.
Yeah.
My number 11 was Damned in Black.
Oh, that hurts.
Yeah, I know. My number 10 is Blizzard Beasts.
So we're not far off though, except for Damned in Black.
Did you just show your number 9?
That was my number 9, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so my number 9, this almost kind of hurts me, but I don't know. Wait, no, that is incorrect. That's why that was going to hurt. I almost grabbed the wrong album. My number 9 is actually, okay, this makes more sense. Northern Chaos Gods.
Okay.
But, I mean, considering it's their newest album, I mean, number 9's not too bad.
No.
I think this was going to be my number 8. But anyways, yeah, this album, I'm sure as everyone knows, this was their comeback album. They really needed to make a statement with this. They had kicked Abbott out of the band. Yeah. This came out in 2018. So they booted Abbott and people were instantly on the fence. People were like, all right, well, he was their songwriter. The other guys don't know how to write songs. So the songs aren't going to be there is what people were saying. And I was kind of the same way. I'll admit, I was like, oh, Abbott is out. That's not good. But man, when they released the Northern Chaos God single, it sounded like something off of Battles in the North, Pure Holocaust.
Yeah.
And everyone was instantly like, oh, fuck. Yeah, everything's going to be fine.
Yeah. This rules.
Demon Oz's vocals are awesome. I think his vocals are easily as good as Abbott's. They're not the same. Obviously, no one sounds like Abbott. You'd have to try to sound like him. But I really liked Demon Oz's vocals. Like, I'd like to see Abbott return, but I would want it to be, I wouldn't want him, making every single decision. Yeah. I would want whatever they did on Northern Chaos Gods. I would want that with Abbott's input and stuff. And
totally.
But yeah, what a comeback album. I would say this sounds like there's a little bit of like the second and third album here, and then there's also, you know, the forward stuff. There's also like Sons of Northern Darkness type stuff on here.
I totally hear that too.
Yeah, great album. Yeah, I like it a lot. I wish I could rank it higher, but it's a 2018 album. I couldn't put it any higher.
And like you said, I think his vocals were a total standout because it didn't expect that, right?
No, he'd never done that before.
Yeah.
That's what I was when I was talking about his solo album. I was like, Abbott hasn't, or Demon Oz hasn't done a lot of other outside of Immortal. He hasn't really done that much. So I don't think, as far as I know, he hasn't done another band with black metal vocals before.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anyone knew he could do that other than maybe close friends and stuff.
Yeah.
Interesting guys too. Have you ever read anything about Demon Oz?
Like just not a whole lot. No.
I guess he lives out in the woods, like the deep woods of Norway. I don't know what he does for work, but I guess he's kind of a hermit. He literally just like collects swords and listens to Bathory all day. Like, and
as he should.
Yeah, he's married to Abath's sister. Either that or Abath was married to Demon Oz's sister. One of the two. One of them married the other guy's sister.
It's pretty incestuous anyway, is what you're saying.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Should I do number 8?
Yeah.
Okay. All Shall Fall. I mean, once again, great album. But yeah, it's my number 8. It's what do I have to say about this one? It's kind of cool that the CD that I just have the CD, but it's got like a sticker on the cover, so you probably can't see that well, but it's kind of cool. It's a little different.
Cool.
Sorry.
I'm trying to remember if mine has that. Yeah, I got the same pressing as you.
Okay. Where are my notes?
Sometimes there are Canadian pressings that are a little different.
Yeah. Sorry. Just
no, that's fine.
I wrote some notes here on it.
I should probably mention it. My number 9 was actually supposed to be All Shall Fall.
Okay.
So Northern Chaos God's my number 8. I'll talk about All Shall Fall next.
Maybe I didn't make notes on this one. It's possible. And
Jeff says, wondering since it's on Nuclear Blast, should be more hype in pre-orders. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
For a new
album. You would
there's
think
no way
so.
that can be a thing. And Tony says, yeah, I saw it. Tony saw it on Instagram. Somebody leaked the album cover or something. Yeah.
We're both falling behind on that one, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of mountains.
Oh, more mountains.
Yeah.
And
it's like got that kind of like purple and mountains and castles, right? That's how you know it's good black metal.
Yeah, I like it.
Just the boys hanging out.
Typical Immortal pictures.
Yeah. I can't remember what songs I liked. Sorry.
That's all right. But, I didn't take notes either.
Yeah. Well, I did, but I think I skipped over this one, I think. So anyway. Solid album. I don't have anything really bad to say about it. It's number 8. I mean, that's not bad, right?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool, so my number 9 was supposed to be All Shall Fall. I actually put Northern Chaos Gods just above that, but so yeah, I went ahead to do number 8. No, so my number 9 was supposed to be All Shall Fall. So like when this came out, I liked it at first. I actually started to really, and then I got bored of it really quickly. This is from 2009. Yeah, I got bored of it really quickly for some reason, and I just kind of wrote it off as like it's an okay album. But I listened to it like a week or two ago, and I actually enjoyed the shit out of it. Like, I liked it more than I ever had. So I don't know. In future years, this could rise higher.
I found like just over like the last few days that I've been going over all their albums that several of them I liked more than I remembered.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did here. I really like the epic, the more epic Bathory type stuff. I really like. But maybe in 10 years, this could be like my number 6 or something. I don't think it will. It's even possible that this would ever go past. Like this could never be in my top 5. I don't think.
No, I agree. Yeah. It's not quite there. What. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was supposed to be my number 9 or 8. No, 9.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a little confusing with the break.
Yeah. The numbers part doesn't really matter.
Nah, I think I'm on number 7 now.
Probably.
Which is Pure Holocaust.
Right on.
And this one actually moved up.
Wow.
At first it was like, oh yeah, that's one of the worst ones. It's down below. This is what, their second album, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but yeah, after listening to this again this week, I was like, actually, no, this is actually a really good album. I really like it.
It's one of the best Norwegian black metal albums from those early days.
And white vinyl. This is an Osmos press. Yeah. I would say, this one and Full Moon are pretty indistinguishable. They sound very similar. Very raw production value. Iconic album cover. Like, that's just an amazing picture.
It's got the guy on the right. He actually doesn't even play on the album.
Yes, I remember reading about that. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a drummer in, I think, Gorgoroth.
Sweet. Yeah.
And he actually took his own life years and years back. But yeah, he does not even play on the album. So I don't even know if he did much with the band.
It's just Abbott and Demonez on.
Yep.
And am I right that Abbott is the drummer on this?
Yep.
And the drumming is not the greatest.
It's not the greatest, but I thought he did fine. Like I thought
he did fine. It's just funny. Like being a drummer myself, I noticed that like when he transitions from like one spot to like one part to the next part, will be like just like half a beat pause, which like experienced drummer would never do that. You want a seamless change from one part of a song into the next one, right?
True,
it's just like he takes a second to like reset his brain, and then he goes into the next part.
Yeah, I mean his drumming, I guess, was pretty much just fast drumming, not a lot of variation.
Yeah, there's not a lot of variation, but you know what? It works with the music because it's raw. You don't care that much, really, and yeah. I mean, it's still a super solid classic record. So,
and it also is. I mean, that kind of drumming is what early 90s black metal was all about. So
yeah,
whether or not he was not playing as well as he could have, I wouldn't really want him to be playing all technical and stuff. It wouldn't have really made sense.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Yeah. So I guess I'm at 7, I think. So
yeah,
again, the numbers part doesn't really matter because so my number's 1, 2. I think this is my number 6, actually. No, it's 7. It's 7.
Oh, good.
So my number 7 is the I album. I do own it, and I've shown it on my channel, but I couldn't find it. So obviously, last time I showed it, I probably set it aside. So this album, let's see, came out in 2006. Yeah, Between Two Worlds. Yeah, I like this album a lot. I can't believe it's my number 6. That I almost feel like I'm putting it a little bit high, but I kind of can't help it.
It's a solid album.
Like it that much. Yeah, I'll go over the lineup here. Since we were talking about the weird lineup, it's got King of Hell from Gorgoroth and other projects on bass. Armageddon. This is where it gets interesting. Armageddon on drums, who played on the first Immortal album. And I forgot that he plays on the Demonaz album too.
Interesting.
So I think I don't think he's really doing anything nowadays. I think he's just like when friends ask him to do something for like, old time's sake, he'll do it.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's active in the scene at all. And then it's got Ice Dale from Enslaved playing all the solos.
Yes. Awesome.
Which he plays like those 70s rock god type guitar solos. He's really good.
There's some real like breakout rock moments in that album.
Totally. Yeah.
And it works.
Totally works. Yeah. Abbott on guitars and vocals, and Demonaz just writing lyrics because that's all he did for like 20 years.
Yeah.
He couldn't play guitar. I still don't understand. Did he get cert? Can he play guitar now?
Because he had
tendonitis.
Tendonitis, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is
so bad
weird.
that he couldn't play.
He must have had surgery. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. Maybe that's why they are kind of slower as a band now, and maybe he can't. I don't know.
Can't
But
tremolo
I'm
as
glad he's back
fast.
though, actually playing guitar.
I can't play drums as fast as I used to, so
Joints and stuff, yeah.
yeah, I get it.
Yeah, so this album is just so cool. It starts off with the title or the Storm I Ride, which is the most Motorhead
So
any of these
awesome.
guys have ever sounded.
Yeah, that song is amazing.
And then battalions and mountains around the middle of the album. Actually, maybe even the entire second half is super like epic battery sounding, and
yeah,
it's great. I just like this album a lot. So yeah,
cool. Okay, I'm at 6.
Yeah.
Diabolical Full Moon Mysticism. It's funny, like at first when I first started doing this, I thought, oh, that one will be down at the bottom. And then I listened to it again and I was like, actually no, it's pretty solid, so I'm gonna put it up. So I just have the CD. I should get this on vinyl, but I'm sure
That's them definitely at their most primitive.
Oh, it totally is. And you can tell, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, when did this come out? It was like 92. I think it was 92. So yeah, they're pretty young.
Oh yeah. Yeah, 92. Shit.
Yeah. And I can't remember if it's Unholy Forces of Evil or Cryptic Winter Storms, but one of those two songs is really awesome. And it's cool because you can tell like what they were going to become in that song. Like just the riffage and stuff is very similar to what they would do, just with like a way shittier production.
Yeah. That album is like super first like 2 Bathory albums pretty much.
Yeah. I'll admit, like, I love all styles of black metal, but I prefer better production.
Yeah, I can't blame you there. I used to be way more about like the raw stuff.
Yeah,
I'm not as much anymore. I still do, but yeah,
I mix it around. But I definitely prefer the well recorded stuff.
Yeah. No, I totally.
Or at least halfway decent recorded stuff.
Yeah, I hear you. I kind of bounce around with production personally, but
yeah, sometimes you need to mix it up.
Yeah. So my number 5. Let's see. My number 5 is the debut. Oh, Upside Down, Diabolical Full Moon Mysticism. We were obviously just already talking about that. This is the only album with Armageddon on drums. This album just sounds like the first 2. I would say the first 3 Bathory albums, but really mostly the first 2.
Yeah, heavily influenced.
Yeah, I mean everything was in the earliest days, but this is like this them at their most. A lot of people will say like this is their most black metal sounding, and that's pretty much true.
Yeah,
this is their most like, if that's the kind of, if you think black metal is only the 1991 stuff, then you'd be right, I guess. I used to like this album a lot more than I do now. I still like it, but it's really good for what it is. It's not. I just don't think it's as memorable as the next 2.
Yeah,
and I think it's because they never really played that style again. They became themselves. That album was more like, we're gonna make black metal the way that we see it.
Yeah,
but it almost sounds like a different band.
This is what people want us to be, maybe, or
yeah. So it's good for what it is, but I think that's, if anyone doesn't like it as much, I think that would be the reason. It's not as characteristic. Like, yeah. So number 5.
Rick's calling us out there.
Oh no.
It's funny. Yeah, old guys can still play fast. You're right.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just not this old guy. My number 5. Again, we already talked about this and showed it. Northern Chaos Gods. I don't think I can add anything to what we already said, but yeah, just an awesome comeback album. It'll be interesting to see how the new one compares to this one.
Oh yeah.
Because he's kind of, he had like an impossible, shoes to fill with this album, but now maybe even more so. True. If you can keep it going,
True.
So yeah.
Yeah, because he'd probably been working on that album for a long time.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's also had he's had a good couple years to make a new one.
Well, yeah, it was 2018, right? So
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no telling how long he had worked on that. I mean, it could be 10 years, maybe more.
Yeah.
I bet you he'd probably been writing that stuff for many, many years. Because he's a songwriter, you know, or he writes lyrics and stuff.
Yep.
So he writes almost all the Immortal lyrics.
Yeah.
Well, this is what I loved about even when he couldn't play guitar, he was still a lyricist. They still considered him a band member.
Oh yeah, he's credited on like pretty much every one of the albums, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
They didn't just write him as a lyricist. Like he was still in all the band photos and everything. Like he just couldn't play. That wasn't his fault.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So Rick mentions how they used to be called Amputation. They were a death metal band in like 1990, late 80s.
Yeah, I think I might have read something about that, but I've never. Do they have demos out or something?
They have some demos. Yeah, I'd never heard Amputation, but I have heard the Immortal demo, and it's a death metal, full on death metal.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I've seen it listed on Metal Encyclopedia, but
yeah, full on death metal. I actually wouldn't mind picking that up.
Yeah, it'd be cool. Definitely.
And Rodney asks if I've seen the video for a Diabolical Full Moon song, Cry of the Winter Moon. Oh, of course. Yeah. I think it's pretty funny and kind of cringy. It totally is. Yeah. The funny thing about Immortal is when people say that they're cringy and stuff is like, it seems like they were doing it intentionally, but they actually weren't.
No.
It was non-intentional irony. You know?
I think it's very tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've seen Abbott interviewed, I mean, he's totally over the top. Like it's, you know,
oh my God,
he's not taking himself seriously.
No. But those old photos, though, he does say that in those days they weren't actually trying to make jokes of themselves. He said, "Yeah, they look goofy. We were actually trying to be serious, but
everyone was doing it then, right?"
So yeah, Immortal though they took it to a new level.
They did.
Yeah, right. He said he never really thought it would be something that like he'd be made fun of for decades and stuff.
Yeah.
But he also, I don't think really, like you said, I don't think he's offended.
No.
So number 4.
He's made a career out of it, so.
yeah. There's no going back for him. He's just going to be himself.
Yeah.
Number 4 is, I wish I'd have pulled out my vinyl. I totally forgot that I had this on vinyl, but it's okay. Number 4, At the Heart of Winter. Yeah, couldn't put it any higher. I kind of wanted to. I do kind of go back and forth with this album, but at the end of the day, I really like it. Came out in 1999, and this has one of the best starts to any album ever written in black metal, I think, with Stand the Fall of Time. It's just the riffiest song you'll ever hear. Like it just goes from riffing section to riffing section for like the first couple minutes, and it's so intense and so memorable and so like epic and catchy, and those are honestly some of my favorite riffs in metal ever.
Yeah, it is an awesome album.
It starts off with these super long epic songs, and then it kind of goes on to some real thrash oriented stuff. For me, this album's a little bit front loaded, but it's I like the thrash stuff on there too. A lot of people I've heard over the years say that Abbott is not a good riff writer, but I totally disagree.
Oh, totally disagree. Yeah.
I don't understand that at all. I think his riffs are like, he has his own style, and I think he writes great riffs. I don't think they're boring at all. I don't understand why anyone would say that, but At the Heart of Winter, although it does have some of my favorite songs. Also, does your version say on the CD, does it say At the Heat of Winter?
I don't have the CD. I have the vinyl.
Okay, yeah, the Osmos versions say At the Heat of Winter because it got screwed up when it was made.
No, mine's Heart.
Yeah. So yeah.
Cool. Number 4. My number 4 is Damned in Black. Yeah, we already talked about this one too. But another awesome one. This is also Osmos. Another, solid pressing.
Yeah.
Nice gatefold. Just got all the lyrics in there. This one's not as ridiculous with I don't know. That cover is pretty ridiculous, but yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. Against the Tide, My Dimension, Damned in Black, all awesome songs.
I think that's when they started doing the using a lot of thrash metal influences.
Yeah. You know, I like one of the reasons I like this one more, I think, is because the production's a bit better.
Yeah.
But it's not overproduced. You know, I think it's just a perfect production level for them.
I'd say so. Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe it's got a good mix of, like you said, like kind of thrashy, chaotic stuff, and then there's like the mid. I guess the mid tempo would be more of the thrashy stuff, but yeah, it's a good mix, I think. So yeah, that's my number 4.
Yeah, I take back what I just said a minute ago. I said that was the first time they would start using like thrash riffs, but that was At the Heart of Winter came out before that. That's At the Heart of Winter is when they started, you know, using thrash riffs.
Oh yeah, that was 99. You're right. Well, it was just a year, but yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, so number 3. This is where things start getting hard.
Yeah, they do. Because
this could change for me. Like
my top 3, I can move them all around for sure.
Yeah, although my number 1 rarely has changed. My top 2 are the only ones that flip flopped.
Yeah.
3 is debatable, but my number 2, yeah, the only 2 Immortal albums have been my favorite at any point. So
yeah,
number 3, I went for Battles in the North. I think everyone loves this album, but I have heard criticism, but somebody's going to criticize everything. This album this is their most brutal album, I would say.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
It's just so in your face and aggressive. I don't think there's any slow moments on this album. It's just fast.
Yeah. And it's short too.
Yeah. It's like they were, you know, it's kind of like that Marduk style of like, we're just going to play fast and aggressive and we're not going to relent ever. We're not going to let you breathe. Yeah. 1993. I wish I had. Well, that's cool. Is that yellow?
Well, it's kind of piss colored.
Okay. Kind of golden.
Yeah. This is also my number 3, actually. So
yeah. So you had Abbott, still playing drums on this album. This would be the last album he plays drums on, and this album literally sounds like, you know, the cover. This is just like a blizzard, a stormy blizzard.
Yeah, it's cold and frosty.
Yeah, it's just like you listen to this and you feel like you're in a hailstorm, and hail's just like bouncing off your face.
Yeah, totally, man.
It's just so fast.
Yeah, I love how like every song just abruptly stops. Right?
Yeah, they do,
like,
don't they?
There's no. They were just like, fuck it, we're not gonna like write an ending to a song. It just stops.
You're right.
Every fucking song on the album.
It's true. It's like they just stopped playing abruptly.
Yeah.
I don't know if they meant to do that, or if they just were like, we don't know how else to do this.
They probably just didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I have a few notes on this one. Raw production matches the raw aggression. Yeah. It is just the 2 of them, right?
Yep.
I think. Yeah, he's playing drums. Yeah, you know, like once again with the drumming, like it's like this close to coming apart at times, but you know, he somehow manages to keep it going.
Yeah.
And it's kind of more awesome for that reason, I think.
He's just doing that pretty much like that Bathory style, but way faster.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And
I don't know what standout tracks, because they all just kind of run together like it's almost like one big song.
Honestly, yeah. Yeah. But it's funny, like it might not have super standout songs, but as a whole, it's just so good.
Yeah, it is. Oh yeah, it's definitely
a lot of albums you can't say that about, you know?
No, definitely not. Awesome. Yeah. Okay. Number 2.
Number 2, yeah.
No, it's your turn, right?
I have 2 left. How many do you have left?
I have 2 left.
Okay. All right. My number 2 is we're just down to the last 2. This, like I said, this is where it gets kind of interesting because these 2 albums are the only albums that have ever been my favorite. I've just liked all the others, but none of the others have ever cracked my first 2. Not just currently, but ever. So this has been my number 1, and I'm comfortable today saying it's number 2, but Pure Holocaust, their 3rd album from 93.
Yeah.
93. Yeah. Cause they were, So this came out not too long after the first album, but it is pretty different sounding. Like they sound almost like different bands, kind of. I mean, maybe not different bands, but they're different sounding. The first album was, like I said, it was just pure raw first and second album Bathory Worship, and really awesome for what it is. But this is the album where they started becoming themselves, you know, writing riffs that sounded like Immortal, vocals that sounded like Immortal, and this is still this is a precursor to Battles in the North. It's not as brutal as Battles in the North, but I think this one is a little bit more memorable. There's a little bit more melody, It's still fast and brutal, but it's a little more memorable than Battles in the North, not as fast. A lot of character. What's that one riff on here that's like from the Star Wars, like that Darth Vader riff?
Yeah.
I love that. That's so awesome.
It's like is it in the Imperial March?
Yeah, it's that Imperial March. Obviously, that was done intentionally. Oh yeah, so awesome. Yeah, awesome. This I could. This is like almost a desert island album for me. One of the best albums to come out of like the early Norwegian black metal scene. Yeah, and no one's gonna argue with you on that. It's just, not a whole lot to say about it other than I just love it, and it's legendary, and I never ever get tired of it.
Totally.
Maybe I don't listen to it as much now as I used to, but I'll never stop playing it at least once or twice a year. Yeah. There's Richard Wolf. Pure Holocaust is my favorite. I mentioned Richard earlier. You might not have been here. He sent me a copy of the Blizzard Beast album because I didn't have it.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, he sent me that like a couple of months ago.
Sweet.
Yeah. So there you go.
Okay. Number 2.
Number 2.
My number 2 is Sons of Northern Darkness. I love this album.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I think like they just managed to like mix all the great elements that we've talked about through all the other albums. I think they're all kind of on this one. Yeah. And also, they made their own weapons. How cool is that?
Oh, I didn't know they made those.
Yeah. No, I looked it up. They actually made them. And
wow. That's sick.
It's kind of hard to see, but Abath has like a big giant axe.
Oh, yeah.
You can't see it on camera, but it's there.
I think that's that same axe that he still uses in like pictures even currently.
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah. And this one is it's a double album, and it's nice.
Ooh,
pretty blue. Oh yeah, this one has
some etching.
Side D is an etching. Yeah, it's basically the cover. I'm sure. You can kind of see it. Holy shit,
that's badass.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
I'm a sucker for etching.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice bonus. And my favorite songs in this one, obviously Sons of Northern Darkness, In My Kingdom Cold, and Tyrants. I love that song.
Oh, Tyrants is amazing.
Yeah. So, we're the Tyrants.
Yeah, I love it.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
it is simultaneously ridiculous and awesome at the same time.
Totally. Yeah.
And what else to say? It's probably like their catchiest album too, I think.
I think it is. Yeah. That's that's my number 1.
That's your number 1.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I will say that it's the first album I ever heard from them, and that very well could be a huge reason why it's number 1.
Yeah, it was my first too.
But every time I do play it, literally every time I play it, I'm reminded why it's my number 1.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's their most catchy. It has tons of standout songs. Like no 2 of these songs sound the same.
Yeah.
Like some of their earlier stuff. I don't know if I'd say it's more melodic, but it's got like an epic sound. It's kind of slow at times. In a good way, though. I mean, like slow paced, where it just gets super epic, and like some of the best riffs are on here. The title track, Tyrants, like you said, is so awesome. In My Kingdom Cold, Antarctica. I don't know. There's just like an atmosphere on here that no other album really gives me. Like, I don't know. I just, to this day, I just don't get tired of this so much to where like I try not to listen to it too often. I only listen to it like once every couple of years now because
Yeah.
But every time I do, I've never put this on and not just been like totally entranced. Like I just get sucked into whatever world they created. I just get sucked into it, and I don't do anything else while this album plays. I just have to sit there and listen to it.
I find that sometimes some of my favorite albums, I don't want to listen to them too much.
Right.
Because I don't want to get sick of it, right? And I mean, there are some albums I can listen to over and over again, and I don't get sick of. But
and then sometimes you have to. You're eventually gonna get sick of it, but you're like, I don't care. I want to hear this all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do it until I ruin it,
Yeah. Oh, squeeze me out. Thanks, man. He's just talking about the record shelving. So I got this out of a local record store. They were getting rid of their
cool.
Their old shelves, and they said you can have it for free. You just got to get it out of here. And the thing weighs a fucking ton. So believe me, it was not fun, but it holds about 600 records. So
holy shit.
And then I made these little covers here. So I just printed off. Sweet. I printed off like, I'm a super nerd, I know, but.
So your vinyl collection, is like a record store.
It kind of is, yeah. And it's been a long time. I've been collecting for a long time. So,
do you only collect vinyl?
No, I have I have hundreds of CDs too.
Oh, okay. Because I've on your videos that I've seen, I seem to only remember ever seeing vinyl.
Yeah, I probably until recently I probably didn't show a lot of CDs, but I probably will. I bought like last year. I bought like a whole CD collection off someone. It was 300, all metal.
An entire collection?
Oh yeah.
Holy shit.
People don't care about CDs anymore. So
true.
I don't know.
Yeah, CD is my favorite format, but only because like vinyl is awesome, but it's just so heavy and it takes up so much room and stuff.
And it's getting so expensive, man, especially in Canada. Like,
really?
It's not unheard of to pay like $40 or more for like a new record. So
it's that way here too. Yeah, anywhere from 20 to 40. Like 20, if you find a $20 new record, that's super cheap.
Yeah.
But usually it's 30 to 40. Used could be, obviously could be any number, but I mostly buy vinyl. Usually it's stuff that I just find randomly. I usually don't pre-order or order vinyl online, but once in a while.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm lucky because there's like 3 or 4 decent record stores like close to me.
Damn, lucky. We only have one in my entire town.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, let's see now. So there's one called Taz Records, which they actually have 3 stores, all in the greater metro area, but they're pretty much all the same. And then there's one called Renegade Records, which has a lot of used stuff. Taz is mostly new stuff, and Renegade is used. And then there's a couple other like kind of used places that are spotty for metal, but they do get stuff in once in a while. So
yeah, my local store rarely. I mean, they do carry metal, but it's certainly not like their specialty. Like there's not a lot of metal fans in my town.
Oh yeah, same here. I mean, I don't know. It ebbs and flows. We have like a pretty good local music scene, but there's a lot of bands, but there's not a lot of places to play right now. So
gotcha. Well, it's more than we got. So
cool. Yeah. So my number one is At the Heart of Winter.
Oh, do you have the is that the picture disc or not picture? What does your vinyl look like?
It is.
I was bummed I didn't bring mine out.
This one is. I don't like picture discs. I don't own any.
Mine's not a picture disc either. I don't know why I said that. All right, mine is blue.
So this, it's my color balance is probably off, but it's kind of like a olive green color.
Wow,
weird. I know it looks more yellowy on camera, but it's actually kind of olivey. But yeah, I love the labels. Like
one guy on each side.
Yeah, and Abeth is just like no.
Yeah, mine is like glaciery blue. It's really cool looking.
Oh, I
think it might be etched, but I can't remember. I'm bummed I didn't bring it out, but I'm not going to go dig for it.
No, I'm not going to re-sleeve this on here. So why? Now that I'm on the spot, I'm trying to think like what I like better of this over my Sons, and I'm like, I mean, they're both awesome. So
it's just what your brain is telling you.
That's what my brain told me when I wrote it down.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, they're
that
probably
first track on there, though. Oh my god.
Withstand the Fall of Time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite songs of all time, just in general.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, and there's the label pictures bigger. Sorry, I keep getting it wrong. But yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, both of those albums are completely amazing. And yeah.
Kevin says that's his favorite album favorite album as well.
Yeah.
I would say I see that. I see quite a few people saying that that's their favorite, and then I've seen some people say like, I just think it's boring. Like, no, it's not boring at all. You're just wrong. Like, what is boring about it? I don't understand that.
No, me neither, man. It's amazing, start to finish.
I like how there's a lot of variety on it too, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, it starts off that epic sound, like I keep saying, but then it gets to like total thrash riffs. Like, I don't know. I think it's kind of front loaded, but I might just say that because I like the first song so much, or the first two. But
Kevin
it's got
agrees.
total like we love like German thrash metal type riffs in there.
Yeah.
I also like how the Immortal, Demon Oz and Abath love, because I do too. They love the second Possessed album.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like I never see people that just shit all over that album. And like I watched this interview a couple years ago where Abath said that every time him and Demon Oz hang out, they always play that album, like every time.
That's funny.
Like finally someone else likes that too.
I know Seven Churches, but I don't really know the second album.
Most people hate it.
Is that
it's cleaner sounding and it's not as evil, but it's just a great thrash album. I have no complaints. I have like literally zero complaints about it. I think it's mostly the production people don't like. It's kind of a weak, thin production.
Yeah.
But I'm not a production Nazi. I don't really care too much about production. Like my brain will fill in the blanks for me.
Yeah, if the riffs are there and it's interesting, then it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
Check it out if you like thrash, if you like Possessed at all. I think it's that, and actually they have a perfect discography. Their EP is great too.
Yeah, I will check it out.
Yeah. Well, that went fairly easy.
Yeah, that's our thoughts on Immortal.
I'm glad someone finally told me that they have a new album coming out, because I feel like
yeah, me too, man. I had no idea.
I guess I would have known eventually, but
yeah. Oh,
at least now I can be excited about something.
Definitely. Well, I'm a huge Dark Throne fan.
Me too.
And they have a new album, right? So next month as well. So
I really dig that new single they had. I only heard a snippet.
Yeah. Yeah, same awesome. Here. Yep, it does. It's very doomy, which I'm all about the doomy stuff.
And, they seem to be playing that old doom metal stuff lately.
Yeah, and I like the album cover.
I do too.
Cool. I think it's cool.
I like every album cover they've done.
Yeah, a lot of people have been shitting on it, but I think it's pretty awesome. So.
It totally fit. It just fits what Dark Throne are all about. And,
for sure.
If you follow Dark Throne, that should not be a surprise to you at all.
Yeah. Well, they like to stir the pot, right?
Yes. Very cool title.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked. I mean, I've only heard that snippet. I don't know if there's a whole song available.
Yeah,
I'd like to hear the whole song.
Would it be on Spotify? I know that's wrong to say, but
nah. I liked Old Star. I probably liked Old Star better than the last album, but I still like it.
Internal Hails. I like that album quite a bit.
I liked it, but for some reason I liked Old Star more. That album was even more of like a doom, old sounding doom album.
Yeah, it's not on Spotify, so not yet anyway.
Yeah, Kevin just echoed my thoughts on Beyond the Gates from Possessed. Yeah, great songwriting, thin production, and Nate. Thank you, Nate. Thanks for watching,
thanks, man. Yeah. It's our first time doing this together, so
yeah. I just decided like it'd be cool to like connect with people that I've talked to for years now, like get to know them a little better. Yeah. So like my last live stream I did with a guy who doesn't even have a channel, but he's been watching my channel since like the day one, and I was like, it'd be cool to like put a face to the name and everything,
Yeah, well, we do more of this, and it might get me into shooting my own videos more.
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
I've been kind of slack. Yeah, I just redid my music room, so I want to do like a music room tour.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah,
People like seeing that.
Yeah, it's totally like it was pretty much gutted and redone. So
yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. I already forgot we talked about doing like a Canadian video.
Yes, I've already picked. Well, it might change a bit, but I've got a couple of things that you probably want.
Yeah, you told me you pretty much had it done in like 5 minutes.
Well, yeah, I mean, being a Canadian, of course,
yeah.
Canadian metal is special to me. So
yeah,
and
it is to me too, even though I'm not Canadian.
Voivod's probably one of my favorite bands of all time.
Yeah.
So
they are a national treasure.
They are. Well, they should be. I mean, they did win a Juno, which is like the Canadian Grammy Award, a couple years ago for the Wake, but
they're underrated even in their own country.
They are very underrated up until like that album, which was what, 2018, I think. They had not been really, or maybe it was 2017, but yeah, they had really not been acknowledged.
Yeah,
like they should have. So
yeah,
it's only been recently that they've started to get like the actual praise that they deserve, I think. So
yeah, I'm always interested in because I obviously, I've listened to so many albums. I'm always interested in hearing people's thoughts on, albums from their own country, whether or not they feel anything because of it. Like,
yeah,
like I've been talking a lot about American black metal. I have no sense of like when I listen to these, I'm all like, America, like I just think it's fun to do just because you live in that country is all.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Well, it makes sense that it's
not like Voivod sound Canadian.
No,
they sound like Voivod.
Well, yeah, exactly.
They're like they're from space.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what makes them so great. But
yeah,
a lot of bands try to sound like
Rush
them.
Don't sound like a Canadian band. They just happen to be from Canada.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
no. But I don't know
what is Canadian metal.
I was just gonna say, I don't know if Canada actually has like a certain sound. I mean, I guess there was like that.
I don't think
kind of that dirty thrash sound in like the 80s, right? But like Razor and Sacrifice and stuff.
Yeah.
Sacrifice just played here actually last weekend.
Yeah, Canada are oddly like I don't want to say overlooked, but they only had maybe a few bands, but they're really important to like early thrash metal.
Yeah, yeah.
Or even important in creating with like Exciter and Anvil and stuff.
Yeah.
Like some people say like those two bands are like almost started thrash, So and that's
Anvil's a funny one though, because they're just goofballs.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
I missed them. They played here some years back and I didn't see them and I kind of felt bad for missing it.
Yeah, I saw them like 5 or 6 years ago and it was a good show.
They're a good live band.
Oh yeah, they definitely are. Yeah. The drummer's awesome. Like he's totally solid drummer. Really good.
Yeah. And Canada's, again, it's such a huge country. You guys have all these different parts, but a lot of good black metal from Canada too.
Yes. Oh, do you know the band Wake?
I don't think so.
Oh man, check them out. They just put a new album out. Actually, hold on a sec. I'll grab it.
I'm already looking them up. They're not on Metal Archives. Yeah, like they're like the Quebec area has a pretty legendary black metal scene, and I don't know about the other cities, but that French Canadian black metal stuff. Though. Did you say Awake?
Okay, this is Thought Form Descent, and it's on Metal Blade. And yes, Gorguts are awesome band.
Oh yeah.
So anyway,
did you say Awake?
Wake, W-A-K-E. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've heard that name.
Yeah. They have a couple of full lengths out.
Okay.
But this one is earlier 2022. Yeah, it's like I don't know. I mean, it's dissident, but also like catchy, and also like really aggressive black metal. It rips. Like seriously, check this out. It's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's funny because I just looked into it, and yeah, I remember hearing the name a few years back, and they were a grind band.
Oh yeah. They started off as like a total grind band, and they also have like an EP, a recent EP out that's like an ambient album. But their last couple of albums are like just dissident black metal and really, really, really good stuff.
Damn. See, I'm gonna look into that because I've heard the name, and I'm not a huge grind fan, so I totally ignored them. But
yeah, I'm not either. But this one and the last one, which I don't know, I'm not going to go run and grab it again. But
no, yeah,
I do have the last album too, and it's really good. Yeah,
I know they had. I think it was the last album, or maybe the last two, but they've been getting like some serious attention, like coverage in magazines and stuff, and like they've been making like huge lists, like top lists of the year.
And for good reason, man.
But I still thought they were a grind band, so I just have been ignoring them. But now I'm going to go listen.
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah. I'm going to see if I can order a copy or something, because that sounds cool.
Oh, yeah, I should throw out my, not that I want to advertise too much, but my buddy has a little distro, and it's called Night Howl Records.
Okay.
And he's got all kinds of death, black metal. I got this Wake album off him.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's worth checking out. He ships like internationally, but Canada.
He lives in your town, or
he lives in Moncton, which is in New Brunswick, which is the next province over. So
okay.
It's about like a 3-hour drive from from where I live. So yeah,
cool.
Yeah, worth checking out.
I'll check it out for sure.
Yeah.
Night Howl.
Night Howl. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, it's pretty late your time, huh?
It's 11:30.
Oh, okay. You said you're late night.
Night. Oh yeah, I usually don't go to bed till 12:31. So.
Yeah, I'm just writing this down. Night Howl and stuff I need to check out.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely check out Wake.
Yeah, dude, I'm actually excited to hear it now that I know that they're not a grind.
Yeah.
not that I dislike grind at all. Actually, making it sound like I hate it.
Grind is great in like small doses, right?
Yeah.
So, you listen to one album that's like 15-20 minutes and you're good.
Yeah. It takes a lot for someone to go, hey, you need to go check out this grind band. Usually I'm like, yeah, dude, I don't know. If I find it somehow and I hear it, I'm like, this is great. But if somebody just throws grind names at me, I'm probably not even going to check them out.
No.
Unless it's like they got a heavy dose of death metal in there, then I might.
I have a friend that's always trying to get me into it. He's like, here, man, check this out. I'm like, yeah, they all sound the same. I'm sure he probably thinks that about my black metal albums, but
exactly. Yeah. It's just not for everyone.
They do not all sound the same.
No, not at all. Yeah. No. We all have different ears and the way we hear things, and
oh, for sure. Yeah.
Sometimes, my favorite albums, people are like, I literally hate that. Like, okay.
Yeah.
They're like, I literally think that sucks. And I'm like, okay.
You're entitled.
Yeah, it doesn't offend me. I'm just like, I understand that we all are we're more different than we think we are.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Humans are we vary so much from person to person.
Yeah.
It's like, Nate says he knew Wake as a grind band also.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, I highly recommend their new and their last one too. Although, like I said, I think the EP is some other experimental thing, but the new album.
I love that, actually. I love when people do like EPs of something way off left field.
Yeah, well, Blood Incantation did that too, right?
Yeah, I've been meaning to pick that up actually, because I like that kind of music. So
yeah, this one's called Thought Form Descent, and then I forget the name of the last album, the last full length, but it came out a couple years ago, and it's also really good. So
yeah, that's the one that got like people started talking about.
Yeah. It's got like a weird purple bluey cover.
Yeah, I actually think my local record store has that new Wake, so I might just go buy it tomorrow because I think I saw it there and I was like, oh, I've heard about that band.
You will not be disappointed. If you are, then I guess we're not friends anymore.
Yeah, I might actually just go blind buy that tomorrow.
Go get it. Yeah,
$13.
Oh man, you can't go wrong. You'll love it.
Yeah.
All
right. Well, I think I got to go take Louis outside. He's just been bored as shit this whole time.
Oh yeah,
he probably has to pee.
Yeah, man. Well, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, dude. We'll come back and do our Canadian albums because I really want to do that.
Yeah, me too, man. Definitely.
Yeah, I'll start
in a week
thinking about what mine are and not make them all Rush albums because I could easily do that. Rush are actually my favorite band of all time.
I never even thought of that because I was thinking just Canadian metal albums, but
I'm going to say rock and metal or even anything. I'm going to say anything from Canada goes.
Oh, that's scary, man. We might be there all night then.
No, I think that'd be cool because you might have more. If you might throw some in there, maybe you'll throw a pop album. I don't know what your favorites are, but
Well,
I'm going to say all genres included.
Okay, I will. I might even throw in a couple of local things.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard anything from Canada, or at least in my collection, that's not rock or metal. So I won't have anything. Yeah. I don't think I'll have anything unheard of. But
I mean, other than like, I pretty much have rock, metal, and punk.
Yeah.
And there might be like the odd kind of poppier thing, but yeah, most of it would be those three genres. So.
Yeah, no, but yeah, I would say if there's something that like, if you're like, I just love this album, yeah, don't worry about genres, throw it in there. Yeah, if that's where your heart is.
Awesome. And
yeah, Rush are my favorite band of all time, tied with Sabbath. So
yeah, Rush are awesome. I definitely have gone through. I got really into them like big time, and I'll always love Rush for sure.
In fact, my all-time favorite album, hands down, is just Rush Moving Pictures. So
yeah, awesome album.
That's going to be my number one.
Well, fair enough.
Everyone know.
Fair enough, man.
So yeah, we'll talk about that maybe in the next couple weeks or whenever you're free.
Oh yeah, I'm free most weekends. So
yeah, me too.
I'll just say too, I do have a YouTube channel. It's called Surface Noise Vinyl.
So, yes, sorry. Yeah, I was going to mention that. I'm sorry. I didn't say anything. Yeah.
No, that's fine. And yeah, like I haven't actually posted a video in a couple of months now, probably.
Couple months, yeah.
No Bryan Adams.
Man, what was that South Park joke where Canada, we've already apologized for Bryan Adams. We don't owe you anything else.
Oh man, it was there. So there was just quickly, there was a video show, like a video show in the 80s when I was a kid called Video Hits. And
Video Hits.
Oh, it was so bad, man. It
just
so
sounds
cheesy.
80s though.
Yeah, it really was. Anyway, they played Bryan Adams like every second song.
Of course. He was huge.
Oh, he was
even in the US, Bryan Adams is huge.
Yeah, waking up the neighbors.
Yeah, he just like, God, he's got to have so much money. He's got to have sold billions of albums.
Yeah, and Corey Hart. Sunglasses at Night. Oh man, that was. But that song
I've heard it's hard for some reason. I have no idea why, because you guys are attached to us. But I've heard that like it's hard for Canadians to go like to become worldwide and huge.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I think Rush are still underrated as a band.
Oh, they are.
But they're so popular. But yeah,
it took them a long time. Like they didn't become big until they started playing in the US.
True.
So
yeah. They had like, have you watched that documentary that Sam Dunn did?
Yes. Yeah.
They're saying like they had like no money for like the first like 10 years of their band.
Yeah.
They were like, even when they were playing like arena tours, they had no money because they had to put it all back into the band. They still had nothing, even though they were like headlining.
It worked out for them though.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah. Well, they're true artists. They knew what they had to do.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, we'll do this again soon. And
yes.
Go
so everyone check out Surface Noise Vinyl. Go give us subscribe. That way, when he puts something out next, you'll see it.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Talking, man.
Yeah, you too, man.
Right. Good night, everyone.
See you guys. Thanks for watching.